Yeah. With Morton, we got the Smackdown for this week. It opened up with Cody Rhodes calling out Kevin Owens, but Kevin Owens wasn't there. Nick Aldis came out instead, got a real lot of chorus of boos, and said that Kevin Owens wasn't there. I told him not to be here because of what he did to Randy last week with the pile driver. Cody said he's not going to wait very long. It came out later that Nick Aldis had ordered Kevin Owens to come in when they did the Kevin Owens promo. He said that he was like, "Oh, he just ordered me to come to SmackDown next week." And so we'll see what happens then. Didn't really go much farther than that. But then they had the first of their trios matches to determine who will be in the match for the women's U.S. title. It was Bayley, Candice LeRae, and BFAB. Now, I kind of knew BFAB wasn't going to win this. Something I don't like is when they put in somebody on something like this that you're just like, I know this person just is
Yeah, this
probably going to
person
take
is
the
here
pin.
specifically to take the pin
Yeah,
to
yeah.
protect the other person who isn't winning.
Yeah. Now with as many wins as they've been giving Candace lately and being the speed champion and everything, I figured, okay, there's a steady shot of her to win this. But of course, Bayley rules all. So Bayley wins. I'm not mad at it. Bayley being the first women's US champion wouldn't be, you know, I wouldn't be against that. It wouldn't
It
hurt
would
my feelings.
ensure that she would still be a Grand Slam champion, however they wanted to determine that.
Yeah, that's true. Um, it was a pretty good match, but yeah, I mean, like I said, Bailey wins. It was a good match though. They gave it plenty of time. It got a lot to breathe. They really put forth a really good effort in this one. I appreciated it a lot. Um, then we had LA Knight and Umberto having a match. Now they basically he had another promo off against Santos Escobar, and I just don't know, man. I don't know what they're like. He has literally had Santos Escobar come after this U.S. championship like 7 times now and get beaten handily every time. Like, I don't know how in the world they're supposed to make us believe that he is a legitimate contender for this title because he keeps getting thrashed every time he comes after it.
That's some
Eh,
old school WWF right
yeah,
there.
like LA Knight says, I'm going to whoop your ass and hit your factory reset button pretty much every time he comes after him. And he does that exact thing pretty much every time. It's like the guy is forgetting that he just got his ass whooped trying to come after this title. So, I mean, I don't like this part. I did like the match between Umberto and LA Knight. It was pretty good. Sir, I mean, not a lot of like spots to write home mommy about, but it was a good wrestling match,
Yeah.
but I don't have a problem watching LA Knight. I think the guy really can work. I don't think like a lot of people be like, oh, he's not a new wrestler. He is a new wrestler to me. He hasn't been around that long to me.
Yeah.
At least not in this iteration of him. And even if he is in his 40s, he's
Yeah, he
got the
looks
work.
great for
He
40.
looks great, and he's got the work rate of a
He
20
looks
year old.
fantastic. And I don't think he's
So
ever really been injured like in a big way. I think I saw some interview that he says like, yeah, I've never really had a serious injury in my entire career, which is like insane. But you know what that means is that he's safe.
mhm. Now, LA Knight was also he got approached by Sami Zayn before the match and told him no. So he's not going to
Yeah.
be the fifth guy on War Games.
Oh, he didn't say, yeah.
No, he didn't say yeah. So then after that, we had Motor City Machine Guns versus Street Profits, which was a hell of a match.
Ooh, that
Um,
sounds like a hell of a
it
match.
was a really great match until Tommaso Ciampa interfered and started beating everybody up, and then Johnny Gargano like got in between everybody and like got Ciampa to leave, and Ciampa left, but then he was trying to tell the Street Profits like, "Hey, I didn't have anything to do with that. Like, we're really sorry, blah blah." And Angelo Dawkins just knocked him on his ass. And so, like, and they were looking like the Street Profits are looking pissed that this was ruined by Champa and all that. So I think we're probably leading to a 3-way between the Machine Guns and Street Profits and DIY. If
That'll
we're
be
not
good.
leading directly to a DIY breakup, which if they lose that 3-way match, I think that will probably happen. Okay. At this point, they go back to the bloodline. Jay tells Roman he needs to make a call, but they don't really elaborate on that. That's for later. Nia Jax defended her title against Naomi. Of course, she retained, but she retained after Candice LeRae interfered on Nia Jax's behalf. Candice LeRae is trying to supplant Tiffany. I think that's the storyline right now.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, I mean, sometimes I think Nia Jax is entertaining, and sometimes I'm like, all right, stop it.
Do you know
Um,
where Nia is really entertaining?
hmm,
Outside the ring.
I
Like
agree.
she has a big personality that's actually kind of charming.
Hmm.
Like
If she would
her
be
her
that person, I think it'd probably work out
you
better.
put her together with Alexa Bliss in a non-character situation, and they are incredibly funny together. Those two are like besties, and it's really cute actually.
Hmm.
It's really cute.
So then we got then we have the bloodline. They come out, the new bloodline comes out, and then Roman comes out, and the bloodlines are both facing each other 4-on-4, and they go into a brawl. And here's where we loop back from earlier because the fifth man for the new bloodline has been revealed, and it's Bronson Reed.
Which makes you think, yeah, Seth is gonna
That
be on the team anyway.
literally telegraphs to me that Seth is going to be the guy. However,
Yeah.
after they got beat up in the ring, Jay's, laying there next to Roman. He's telling him, you got to make this call. You got to make the call. And so then to close out SmackDown, they go back to the dressing room. Roman's in there by himself. He uh, pulls his phone out and he like opens up, I guess, Siri or whatever it is he has on his phone. He's like, call wise man. That got a huge pop. Just saying his
Yeah.
name got a huge pop. But he said, call wise
Not even
man.
his name.
Yeah, not even his name. He said, call wise man. That got a huge pop. But then the phone like does the ring thing, and then it goes to a message saying that the number had been disconnected. So I don't know where Paul Heyman is in the story. I know he's at home just chilling.
Yeah.
But I don't know where he is in the story, but his number's been disconnected. And so now Roman can't call him. Now, I had assumed that they were probably saying make the call, and they were talking about like maybe Hikuleo or somebody like that. But apparently it's Paul Heyman. But with Bronson Reed being the fifth guy, that kind of just telegraphs that Seth Rollins
Yeah.
is going to be the fifth guy for the OG bloodline, even though, despite their history with the Shield, it does not currently make sense for that to happen, especially with Seth on Raw going, I ain't joining that team. And why would I join the team of the guy who's just a cheaper version of him? Like
Especially since like, he doesn't need to join Roman's team to get in a fight with Bronson Reed. They're on the same brand. They can do
no,
that
they've been,
anytime.
yeah, and they do. They
And they
literally,
do
for the last like three
all
weeks,
the
they have
time.
been fighting all the
Like
time.
they can, in my eyes, like at this point, they would have to really, really sweeten the pot, sweeten the deal in order to get him to do it. And if they do that, fine,
Hmm.
fine. But you're going to need a really good storyline reason other than just, oh, well, Bronson Reed's on that team and I want to fight. Look, fight him now.
Yeah,
Go. Get
yeah.
out of get out
Take
of
him out of
from
the
behind this
equation and make
microphone.
it 4 on
And
4 again.
yeah, like
I mean, whatever.
you don't need a pay-per-view to fight. You just fight them.
Yeah,
Like
so I don't like that. I don't like that they're telegraphing that Rollins is going to be the fifth guy so hard. I don't like it. And if they don't go ahead and book Rollins in a match for the pay per view, that's what I'm going to assume he's doing all the way up until the pay
yeah,
per view, until they tell us at least. That's really the only thing I don't really care for from this week, though. All the matches were real. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Nia Jax in the ring, but her match with Naomi was good. Her headbutt, like she headbutted Naomi, looked gnarly. She swung her around like she was nothing. It was
yeah.
cool, but I'm just not the biggest fan of her
It's
in the
when
ring. But
yeah, and
I
when
didn't
she
dislike it.
leans into the big wrestler stuff,
Mm-hmm.
she's fine. It's
Yeah,
when she tries to do Hurricane Ranas and stuff that's like, no,
yeah,
please, please no.
yeah. So
Don't do this to
so
us
yeah,
or
overall,
yourself.
I really like SmackDown overall. I thought it was a good show. I think WWE did pretty good overall all week long. I only have a couple of complaints, and really they're kind of superficial. Like I don't really know if I mean, Seth Rollins being a fifth member isn't really superficial, but I don't care for that, even though they haven't officially announced that. So I'm not absolutely sure that's what's happening, but yeah, they're kind of foreshadowing it a little bit.
Yeah,
I don't like Pure Fusion Collective as a name. It's not a stable. It's a name that I don't like, and
yeah.
I don't think they're going to change it at this point. So I'm just
No,
shouting into the void for that
I
one.
I still say that they should be Tal Alpha Row.
That would work.
I mean, that was my original pitch for the pivot from the submission sorority when they originally brought those girls in, and then they realized that that was the name of an adult website. So it was just, oh, Team PCB, which is just the stupidest thing ever. It's like, you can still go with the sorority thing, just make it like a sorority and have
Yeah.
it spell out tap for the submission.
Yeah.
Like, it's perfect. And of course, they're idiots and they didn't think
No.
any further than, oh, Team PCB.
Yeah.
Like,
So
that
they,
fucking means anything.
yeah. So that, yeah. I mean, other than the complaints I have, the two kind of superficial ones, and we'll see how the second one turns out. But other than that,
Yeah.
WWE put on good programming this week. Special shout out to NXT that I did watch this week because the women's division over there goes hard. And more wrestling programs to give that kind of opportunity to their women.
Yeah.
So yeah, other than that, I think WWE did good this week, and that leads us to our hot tag.
Hot tag!